feud between It Ends With Us stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is now threatening to pull in Taylor Swift. After her name surfaced in court documents, Baldoni's lawyer says he could depose the star singer. And now a new $7 million lawsuit's been filed, this time against Lively.
On my part, one thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail.
Through text messages, videos, screenshots, the director of It Ends With Us says he can prove that he didn't harass the actress and he didn't try to destroy.
Oh my God. After Blake dropped that bombshell lawsuit accusing Justin of harassment and misconduct, his team fired back faster than lightning. We're talking within 48 hours. They're not just denying it, they're saying they've got solid proof that Blake's story doesn't add up. Since Justin took legal action against Blake's allegations, it's been like watching dominoes fall, one blow after another for Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and everyone else caught in this messy web of drama. And hold on to your seats because Justin isn't playing around. He's releasing text messages, behind-the-scenes footage, and according to his lawyers, this is just the beginning.
Time progressed in this film. She decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors.
Now, for those who haven't been keeping up with this juicy drama, and trust me, it's getting messier by the minute, let me catch you up. Justin Baldoni, along with Jimmy Heath, Wayfair Studios, and his publicist, first went after the New York Times. You know, the outlet that originally published Blake's shocking allegations. But honey, that was just round one. In the second lawsuit, Justin went straight for Blake and Ryan Reynolds themselves, and this is where things get absolutely wild. We're talking Game of Thrones references, Taylor Swift drama, and some seriously shady text messages that will make your jaw drop. Justin's first lawsuit is spilling all the tea, claiming that the New York Times basically teamed up with Blake to twist everything around, cherry-picking evidence and conveniently leaving out key details to make him and his team look like the bad guys. Get this, according to Justin, when the New York Times reached out before publishing, he and his team flat out told them Blake's side wasn't true, but they went ahead and published anyway. Justin believes this was all part of a month-long scheme to push Blake's version of events. He's even saying the Times rushed to publish the story 2 hours early just to control the narrative.
Are you saying that they got changed copies of the communications, or that they changed the communications to remove emojis? Are you blaming the New York Times for doing that?
I'm blaming the New York Times for participating with Blake Lively's publicists and engaging in this campaign.
And darling, let's talk about Blake. Instead of going straight for the jugular with a lawsuit, she played it sneaky by filing a right-to-sue letter with the California Civil Rights Department. This little move basically let her dodge the discovery process and keep everything hush-hush. But now that everything's out in the open, Justin's team is calling her out, saying her real goal wasn't actually filing a lawsuit. It was all about making herself look credible. One of Blake's biggest bombshells was claiming that Justin and his team were trying to destroy her reputation by using their media connections to push negative press. She even showed text messages that seemed to prove this whole takedown campaign. But honey, Justin's team just hit back with a plot twist. They're saying Blake actually doctored those messages to make it look like there was this huge conspiracy against her. They've released their own receipts, showing internal discussions where Justin's team was actually worried about Blake's PR team pushing fake positive comments about her. In one super revealing exchange, Justin asks in panic, "How can we prove we aren't doing this? It looks bad." His colleagues had to reassure him that Blake's team was behind it all, and another PR rep tried to calm things down by saying people were just reacting to Blake's own actions. Justin's lawsuit is serving up the tea hot, pointing out how Blake edited messages to fit her narrative. For example, she shared this text exchange where someone sent an article titled, "Could Blake Lively be canceled?" And a team member responded, "Wow, you outdid yourself with this." But Justin's team is saying Blake conveniently left out the emojis and sarcasm, making what was actually a joke look like some serious shade. In another juicy revelation, Justin sent his PR rep Melissa a TikTok from Perez Hilton, where Perez claimed someone from Justin's team had told him to post negative content about Blake. Justin immediately jumped in asking, "This is not us, correct?" Melissa shut that down faster than you can say scandal, saying none of them would ever do something like that. She even dismissed Perez as nothing but a troll and assured Justin that no credible outlet would take him seriously. Another text exchange shows Justin's team sharing articles about Blake's past controversies, but Melissa insists they had absolutely no involvement. She tells Justin straight up, once the media goes in, they go in. Basically saying the backlash wasn't orchestrated, it was just the internet doing what it does best. She even throws some shade, adding that Blake handed it to them on a plate. But wait, it gets even better. One of the biggest blows to Blake's claims comes from a text conversation between her own publicist, Leslie Sloan, and a Daily Mail reporter named James. Leslie tries to play it cool, saying, I'm not paid to take people down, I'm honest. But James drops this truth bomb, revealing that Melissa hasn't done anything anti-Blake at all. She told him exactly what she told everyone else, that the backlash is just happening naturally. But Leslie wasn't having it, leading James to spill even more tea. He reveals that in multiple conversations with Leslie, she never once mentioned Blake's allegations against Justin. He even suggests Leslie has a history of being less than truthful, explaining that she often gives reporters information only to deny it later when her clients get upset. The drama just keeps unfolding. Blake's lawsuit also claimed that Justin's PR team was celebrating after shutting down HR complaints on set. Many assumed this was about the serious allegations, but Justin's team just revealed the shocking truth through an email from TMZ. The email shows TMZ asking about at least 3 HR complaints filed against Justin, but here's the kicker. Those complaints were about workplace conflicts, not the serious allegations everyone assumed. A TMZ reporter even told Melissa that their sources on set found Justin to be a nice guy. The real issue, according to these insiders, Blake's huge ego. Melissa later messages TMZ saying, Blake, Lively's camp keeps thinking we're the ones placing stories, but we're not. The TMZ reporter responds with something even more mysterious. Wait till I tell you the whole story. You think you know, but you don't. In my whole career, I've never come across something like this. Additionally, Blake's lawsuit claimed that Jamie K.E. once showed her this super inappropriate video she thought was adult content, but plot twist, it turned out to be a recording of his wife giving birth. She described it as totally disturbing, but Jamie defended himself, saying there was absolutely nothing inappropriate about it. It was just a personal moment. They even shared a still from the video to push back against the harassment allegations. The New York Times backed Blake's claim that both Jamie and Justin repeatedly entered her trailer uninvited while she was undressed, even when she was breastfeeding. But Justin's lawsuit just dropped another bombshell. Blake was actually the one inviting him in. A text from Blake to Justin reads, I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work on our lines. Justin responded, copy, eating with the crew, and we'll head that way. Talk about contradicting her narrative. In her lawsuit, Blake accused Justin of objectifying her by wanting to make her character look sexier. But honey, Justin's lawsuit includes texts where Blake herself was the one expressing a desire to enhance her character's look. In one text, she even describes an outfit as much sexier and says, as a girl, I'd check that out walking down the street. Another major point in Blake's lawsuit was the claim that Justin forced unwanted kissing scenes and frequently discussed his intimate life. But Justin's response? He says Blake intentionally left out that she refused to meet with the film's intimacy coordinator. This forced Justin to handle those discussions alone and relay the coordinator's notes to her despite his reluctance. They eventually worked on the intimate scenes together without the coordinator. Justin argues that their conversations were about character development, not inappropriate discussions as Blake made it seem. To back this up, he shared a screenshot with a producer explaining that Blake refused to meet the coordinator early on, which could disrupt the workflow. Blake's lawsuit also mentioned this super scandalous behind-the-scenes moment where Justin allegedly put his lips near her neck and commented on her scent, despite the scene being a silent montage. But Justin's team just released footage proving the moment wasn't nearly as one-sided as she described.
Nosy. I know. And my nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that. And then,
Just look at this. Blake wasn't just acting in these scenes, she was totally involved in directing them. The video shows Blake and Justin laughing and chatting about how to approach the scene. Justin jokes about getting his beard on her, and Blake laughs, saying she's probably getting her spray tan on him. When Justin says it smells good, she casually replies, "It's my body makeup." It was all lighthearted and professional, completely different from the inappropriate encounter Blake claimed. The lawsuit then shifts focus to who really had control over the movie. Justin argues that Blake is running this whole smear campaign against him because she was exposed for taking over the film. Justin's company, Wayfarer Studios, secured the rights to the novel in partnership with Sony, but despite being the director, he lost creative control to Blake, who was given a producing credit. Justin's lawsuit includes this absolutely shocking revelation. Sony allegedly sided with Blake so much that even the film editors weren't allowed to review her version of the cut. In a text conversation, Justin asked his editors if they had seen her edits. Their response? "We are not permitted to look." Justin was completely stunned, responding, "The editors and director aren't allowed to see an actress's cut? Got it." Later, he told his team he had no choice but to accept her demands for the sake of the film.
Hold on, you guys have to see this.
Clueless. No, I wish. Ryan's here tonight. What is it like for the both of you to be promoting major motion pictures at the same time?
Oh my gosh, it's just so thrilling in our house right now. We help each other. We work together so much. The iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you know. But
he wrote the
it.
rooftop
he works on everything I do. I work on everything he does. So his wins, his celebrations are mine, and mine are his. I mean, he's all over this film.
And Hugh Jack.
From the very beginning, Blake and Ryan were constantly changing lines, reworking scenes daily, and causing all kinds of tension on set. Blake knew exactly how to play Justin. She showered him with praise, calling him one of the best directors she had ever worked with. She claimed that other directors had always shut her down, never letting her contribute, and Justin, wanting to be fair, gave her creative freedom. That decision would come back to haunt him when she ended up rewriting a crucial rooftop scene, setting off a chain reaction that changed everything.
It had to do with, the brilliance of Blake Lively. I don't think people realize how involved she was in this movie. She was extremely involved, and she really made the film better. And especially when it came to intimacy and all of that, like, she had a very clear vision, and she was telling me what she thought would work and what she...
Before filming even began, drama was already brewing. Allegedly, Justin made a comment about Blake's weight, and just like that, boom! Accusations of fat shaming exploded. But here's the real tea. Justin wasn't making any shady remarks at all. He had simply asked her trainer about her weight because he had a scene where he needed to lift her, and with his back problems, he just wanted to make sure it was safe. Sounds totally reasonable, right? Well, that conversation didn't stay private for long. Blake was not having it, she told Ryan, and the next thing you know, Ryan stormed into their penthouse ready to go full Deadpool on Justin. He accused him of body-shaming Blake, and from there, things just spiraled out of control. But Blake wasn't done yet. Oh no. She reportedly threatened to walk off the project unless Justin played by her rules, and if he didn't, she made it very clear that she'd go public with accusations that he fat-shamed her.
You're so nosy.
I know. And my nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
But before this video clip hit the fan, Blake had no clue that the audio was recording during that scene. She claimed it was harassment, but when you break it down, the reality is way different. Both Justin and Blake were completely in character the entire time. In fact, Blake herself suggested that they speak to each other on camera to make the scene look more romantic and slow motion. It was all about creating the perfect film moment. They were joking around, keeping it lighthearted and not doing anything inappropriate. But despite all of this, Blake went ahead and accused Justin of harassment and body shaming. She manipulated Ryan into believing Justin was the bad guy, which is wild considering the two hadn't worked together before. It looked like Blake fed Ryan a version of events that painted Justin in a terrible light. As for Taylor Swift, she's been dragged into this whole mess, and let's just say fans are not happy about it. There's even speculation that Taylor might be ready to cut ties with Blake, realizing that Blake was only using her as a pawn to play dirty in her own industry. Ouch. And here's the kicker. It's been revealed that Taylor didn't invite Blake to this year's Super Bowl, an invite that Taylor has extended to many in the past. But sources say it wouldn't have mattered if Blake had been invited because she wasn't planning on going anyway. Blake wasn't about to show up at the big game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, especially since her best friend Taylor didn't include her on the guest list. Last year, Blake was right there in the VIP suite with Taylor and her crew, cheering on the Chiefs in a packed stadium, but now things have taken a major turn. Taylor, who's been pulled into Blake's messy legal drama with Justin Baldoni is trying to keep things low-key. After all, Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit claims that Blake used Taylor's name to try and sabotage his film. Yeah, talk about an ugly situation. Sources are telling the Daily Mail that Blake never really planned on attending the game. She doesn't want her ongoing legal battle to take away from Taylor and her boyfriend Travis Kelce's big moment. An insider revealed it's not like Taylor's trying to shade Blake or teach her a lesson. Even if Taylor invited Blake, she wouldn't come. Blake would never want to steal the spotlight from Taylor on such a huge night, especially when Taylor's going to see the love of her life play in another Super Bowl. But wait, there's more to this story than meets the eye. According to the outlet, a source claims that Taylor now feels some type of way about Blake, saying she resents her for branding her as one of her dragons. Yep, you heard that right. Taylor was blindsided by the whole Baldoni situation. Apparently, Swift had no idea Baldoni would even be there when she went to meet Blake at her apartment. The source says Taylor believes Blake intentionally timed the meeting so she'd arrive just before Baldoni left. And then there's the dragon comment that didn't sit well with Swift. It's weird to say that about a friend, the insider added, but the drama doesn't stop there. Swift's reportedly learned that Blake's been inappropriately leveraging her name for quite a while. For example, Blake allegedly told a young actress that Taylor cast her, which according to the source never happened. Yikes! This all comes months after Blake got slammed online when old clips resurfaced painting her as tough to relate to. Insiders also revealed that Taylor tried to help Blake tone down her bold persona years ago, offering advice to avoid going full throttle. However, the source continued, Taylor sees a lot of herself in Blake. The main difference is that Taylor's more subtle. Blake, she's always gone all in. She never holds back, and that's where the tide has turned on her. With all this going down, it's safe to say Blake's in serious trouble right now. Not only does Justin have a real shot at winning this case, but Blake might also be losing friends, money, and a ton of opportunities. It's a messy situation, no doubt. But what do you think? Do you believe Blake is headed straight for an Amber Heard 2.0 situation? Or do you think all this will blow over? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and while we wait for more updates, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and check out our other videos too.